Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Once again, I introduce myself. My name is Charles Johnson. As always, I want to tell you, I want to make sure I reiterate this. It's my absolute pleasure and privilege to be here. Do not take that lightly. Do not take that lightly. I always explain that this process is not about a directive. It's not about me telling you things I know, what I've gone through, how amazing I am, and my education and all. It's not that. This process is about a collective, and what that means is it is about a journey that we all take. And we take it together to get to a place where we can collectively use the power within ourselves to help each other and help everyone in order for us to achieve something which is called the action of change. The action of change means that when you want to do something, not just set goals, it means that you are no longer a barrier to yourself to make the changes in yourself that you want. You can have all the knowledge you want, but if you can't take action, it doesn't mean nothing. It doesn't mean a thing. You can have all the educated thing tell you 50 million times what to do, how to do it, this and that and the other. But if you can't take action, and if you don't take action, it doesn't mean a thing. Because you'll be right back at the same place, complaining about the same things over and over and over again. And we find ourselves going through the same cycle over and over again. This thing is called relationship building. Because we understand that the real relationship has to start with yourself. You have to have the relationship with you in order for you to have a relationship with anyone else. It's got to start with you. And it's a big thing to try to get to this process because all of us are on the same journey. But we have these lenses that we see others do. I got this. I got an education. I got money. I'm black. I'm white. I got this. I'm an addict. I'm that. I'm this. I'm the director. I'm a doctor. I'm this. I'm that. I got a big house. I got a nice car. We all have these lenses that we process things to that create judgments. But the hardest thing to learn is when you're judging someone, what you're really doing is projecting your own insecurity outward. That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing. No matter what you think about it. You're judging them. You're projecting your own insecurity out on them. See, because when you can accept yourself, you can accept other people. When I say accept them, it's not that you have to like it. You have to learn to accept them. But you see it through a different lens. What does that mean? You see it through a different lens of that person is on their journey. But if you got judgment for them, you think where they are is who they are. So you keep them there. But guess what you're really doing? Keeping yourself where you're at. I always say the hardest thing to do is to unlearn something that you're going to get through. So this process you've been going through with all these classes, all this thing, listen to me over and over again. This might be the first week I didn't write that diagram up here, right? That MRT, that y'all been so used to, y'all so used to seeing it, it's probably ingrained in your mind. I ain't write up there for a reason. For a reason. But we're going to talk about it. And this is about open dialogue. This is not about I'm right, you're wrong, you're right, I'm wrong. Remember, this process was to get us to something called critical thinking. And what that means is we can talk about anything. Anything. And it's not about agreeing or disagreeing. It's about understanding the other person's input and having perspective. Because when you don't have to be right, you can learn. You can grow. You can learn and grow. But you ain't gonna be right. But guess what? If you don't have to be right, guess what else you don't have to be? Wrong. But you ain't worried about being wrong either. Because those are what? Judgments. We don't do judgments. Get it? So I started off by talking about this relationship building, but today we're going to talk about the sum of its parts. And what is this mind self reset? Let me give you again what this mind self is, because this mind self is what we've been talking about the whole time. I just really didn't put it in these words, but I'm about to put them in these words. What is this mind self? It's just this simple. The mind is you. Every day walking around, the mind is the you. It is who you are. That's you. The self is what you're looking at in the mirror. That's what you talk to. That's what you've been talking to since you was a little kid. You've been talking in the mirror to the self. That's what you've been doing the whole time. But because of the conditionings that we have been through, the mind, which is yo, has been talking to the self with a mask on. You trying to talk to the self with the mask on, you take that mask off. I know who you are, Barbara. You telling the mask, you must not know. I'm a doctor, I'm a director, I got money, I got houses, I got talent, I'm a basketball player, I'm a football player, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that, I'm a baller, I'm the top dude. The self saying, I know you when you was 5. I remember when we used to poop in the bed, remember when we did this. You like, I don't hear that bullshit. You must not know who I am, self. You need to grow up, self. You need to stop being stupid, self. You need to stop being an addict, self. You need to stop being so fat, self. You need to stop being worthless, self. Because look at me. I'm successful. I'm this and that and that and stuff. Like, come on. You with us. You and I. Look, you must not conceive. And in that conditioning, that is where we are so used to telling ourselves, trying to tell ourselves the untruth about ourselves. Is it ever been the world, or who talking to you in that mirror? Anybody ever talk to you in the mirror? So the conversations we done had, we know we done had them with ourselves. We know it. We know it. We've already came to the point that we know if we all stood in the mirror, the only one that can see you is you. The only one. And the only one who's ever seen you is you. We know that all of us can see your reflection, but can nobody see you or ever have seen you but you. You're the only one that can see you and ever have. Can't nobody talk to you but you. Ain't nobody talking to you. That's you. If I asked every one of you in here what I'm saying, you'd all tell me something different, because you're only hearing my voice and telling yourself what I said. You are having a conversation with the self. Am I correct about that?
Yes, sir.
Am I correct? So no matter what I say, you in your head are having a conversation with the self. That's the mind telling the self, don't listen to him. He don't know what he's talking about. He's stupid. You don't need that. Don't listen to that. That's nonsense. He's a liar. That's you talking to the self. Am I correct?
Yep.
What that person said made me angry. Making us angry. That's you talking to the self. Am I correct? That's you. Can anybody make you angry? Can it? Who made you angry? You. Ain't nobody talking to you. You the only one that can make yourself angry. It ain't that you decided to be angry, but you making yourself angry. So this thing was really about this mind self reset. This reset thing was about reshaping the mind, the self, to allow us to challenge the things that we've gone through, that we believe in order for us to be able to unlearn something, uncondition ourselves, and learn anything new. But it is a process. It is not something that's just going to happen for us. It's not. I don't care how much money you got, power you got, position, and we're watching it every day. The people in power, people with privilege, people with money, people with this, that, and the other. We're watching them go on a train wreck, and we sit there rooting on their demise. I know they're going down. I know they're going. That fool, he's going to be dead in a minute. That fool is going to kill that money. I just can't wait. You're rooting on their demise. And the reason you're rooting on their demise is because you're rooting on your own. Ain't that terrible? Ain't that terrible? Because you're rooting on your own. Your own. I'll explain that a little bit. I'll explain right now. What does that mean? Let's put it in this context. Let's say you're the richest, most powerful person, whoever in the world, right? You're the richest, most powerful person in the world. And you got hit by a bus. And a minister or whoever, a person who thought in religious terms, were talking to you about your life and your last rites. Do you think at any state are they going to talk about your position, your money, your power, or who you are? Are they? Are they going to say, I'm not gonna try to talk to you about who you are as a human being because I knew that you was rich and powerful and you lived in a big house? Are they going to say any of that? Or are they going to say, bless you, my son or daughter, because we are all the same children? They're going to say something like that.
You know who you are.
You get it?
That they don't know. You know who you are.
Get it? Because they are going to accept you. And they're going to talk about your good things, your bad things. I don't care if you was a mass murderer about to get executed. They're going to still do the exact same thing. Exact same? Exact same thing. Because they're going to accept you. And then you walk that whole journey and you ain't never accepted you. That whole journey called life, you ain't never accepted you. Blamed everybody for it, not self. All right? So we went in and we talked about this thing called this MRTG. That's the Mind Self Reset Transition Diagram. Because you got a transition. Transition means that I am here and I need to get over here to use what I got to do something different in my life at this time. Everything we did in that life, we might be in the top of wherever, but we need to transition somewhere. Going from single to married. Going in any relationship. If you cannot transition from the individual to being able to understand what somebody else, what somebody else is about, you can't have no relationship. You can have transaction. I like what you're doing, you like what I'm doing, I give you this, you give me that. But you can't have no relationship. If you cannot transition from you to the self, you can't have it. I don't care how much money you got, what your position is, you can't have it. That's why we see these celebrities, these people getting married 5, 6, 7, 8 times. They don't care. Relationship after relationship, because what they're presenting is what they have, not who they are. So when I meet you, I'm saying, hey, look at this nice car. Look at my big old house. You see how much money I make? You know my big position? You see what I got this? You see the stars on my collar? You see this? That's what I'm presenting to others. Then I get mad when they want to take that stuff from me. It's not that they don't respect it. It's that what else they got to take? Oof. What else they got to take? What you mad about? Because you showed them the house, the money, the cars, the position, how great are you? What you didn't show them? You. So they don't know you. Because you're protecting you behind your money, houses, cars, things you got, whoever you are, how greatness, your talent, and all this thing, and how great and wonderful you are, and how amazing you are. Protecting everything you got because you're scared. So you never showed you. So you mad that they after your house, they after your money, they after your car. That's all you showed them. What else they after? Because they ain't after you because they don't know it. They ain't never met you. Get it? So don't be upset when they're after what you done showed them. Because that's all they know, because they sure don't know you, because you don't. You won't even get rich with you. So we talked about things like languages, like this thing called operant conditioning, which is reward and punishment. Classical conditioning, which is Pavlov's dog. Bing, 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 bing. Operant conditioning is designed to condition the left side of your brain with reward and punishment. Go to school, you get the A or you get the F. You success, you get the money, houses, cars, or you're out, you get nothing, bum, street, this and out. You do what I say, you get promoted positions, you don't, you get kicked out, this and that. So you've been conditioned to seek the reward and avoid the punishment. That's conditioning. The classical condition is Pavlov's dog. Bing, bing, bing. That's designed for your unconscious mind, for you to be able to hear or see a stimulus, whether it's a bell, whether it's a sound, whether it's a smell, and for you to unconsciously react to it and do an action or behavior unconsciously. We used to call it, I'm getting triggered. I'm in my blackout phase. That's your classical conditioning in your unconscious. Those things are designed to create something called indifference. Indifference means that it's designed to lock you in wherever you are, so you become satisfied with your present set of circumstances. It does not mean you like your present set of circumstances. It means you become satisfied with your present set of circumstances. What it means is you say, that's who I am, that's how it is, this what's going on, that's what's happening, ain't my fault, this going on, this happening there, it ain't this, it ain't that. So you stay where you are and you can't get out of it because you're indifferent. And what indifference means, you're going to use everything in you to stay there and justify the reason that this is happening and going on with you, and it ain't your fault. And in this process, you can't unlearn nothing. You can't unlearn behaviors, beliefs, nothing. But we learn those languages. Then we learn something called boundaries. In this boundary thing, we found out that these boundaries is the protective things that you have around you to keep you who you are. Boundaries are not for other people. Boundaries are for you. It's for you to be you and stay within who I am and allow you to be you, so I ain't gonna be jealous of you because I know who I am. I'm being me. I'm staying in my boundaries, right? Let's look at it like a basketball game, right? Basketball game. You know, back in the day, I'm old, so I'm gonna use some old references. You know, somebody like a Dennis Rodman, right? Dennis Rodman. But suppose Dennis Rodman wanted to be Isaiah Thomas and say, I want to shoot the ball like Isaiah. I want to shoot the ball all the time like Isaiah. I want to shoot the ball. Isaiah shooting the ball all the time. I want to shoot the ball like Isaiah. Would they have ever won anything? Why?
He can make baskets.
He might could. He might could. He might could make baskets. He might could make baskets.
But playing as a team.
I don't know if he was playing as a team or not.
Get that.
Why? Why?
Because he was out of his boundaries.
What does that mean? He was out of his boundaries.
He wasn't doing what he was designed to
He wasn't doing what he did. He was the best rebounder, best. He was the best daggone shot blocker. He was the best defensive player. He was the best pick setter. He was that. So if I'm looking at what you do and you step outside my boundaries, I'm not doing what I do. Give you a little history. They never would have won the title if it wasn't for a guy named Michael Guire. Michael Guire came to that team, came from Dallas. He's over there. Michael Guire used to score a bunch of points. He does the same thing Isaiah do, Joe Dumars do. He was a great shooter, great scorer. But they could not, that Detroit team back in the day could not do two things. They couldn't beat Boston and they couldn't beat the Lakers. They couldn't beat Birmingham and they couldn't beat Manchester. They got a guy named Mark Aguirre. Mark Aguirre got on the team, and once Mark Aguirre got there, he said, hey, he went to the coach, Chuck Daly. He said, hey, Chuck, you need to bring me off the bench. You didn't start that goddamn Schwarman over there. What? You're a great scorer. That guy can't score. You start doing this. I guess 2 titles later, they understood it. And 3 with the Bulls, they understood it. When somebody do what they do and know what they are, they understand their boundaries, not the other person. Boundaries are for you to keep you where you are so that you can be you and be all right with being you. And what you do, without me looking at you like, you ain't all that. Who you think you are? Did it. So boundaries allow me to appreciate me. That's what it does.
Nice, thank you.
Protective values. You see this word right here in front of it. It says protective values. Why? Because anybody, we don't talk all the time about these great, wonderful values, but we've learned through this process that those values wasn't nothing but a big old shield to help keep us where we are in indifference. Me, it started with me, with my dyslexia. I got, what was my big old shield? Education and degrees. So it just kept me there, not listening to nobody. I had to worry about nobody because I got all these degrees. You ain't saying to me, I'm smart, I got all these degrees. But I couldn't change, I couldn't unlearn anything. I couldn't help anybody. If you got $500 billion and you got to be a next trillionaire, all your shield did was get bigger. It was going to keep you where you at. So you can't see through it to help nobody on this planet with $1 trillion that you got. The most powerful person in the world, and you can't see that you can help and lead, but anybody say anything to you, you just become a bigger and bigger bully, want to beat up on anybody that crosses you. Because they're messing with your own insecurity. So these values are protective for the individual. Somebody whose values are finance, you better bet they either grew up poor or somebody told them that they're a mess. Somebody whose value is strength and power, they done thought that they was weak and this and that. Somebody's value is education and knowledge, somebody done made them feel like they weren't that smart or stupid and they had to go this, that, and the other. Somebody whose value is trust, they grew up in an environment where they didn't trust nothing, where things was kind of sketchy. Somebody whose value is fidelity, they probably saw somebody creeping on people over and over and over. That you ain't messing with me, you gonna have to be loyal and faithful. So your values were never put in place because you're a great and wonderful person. They were a shield to keep you from whatever you went through and whatever you came from, and allows you to have the right to be mad, or even once it protects your unconscious mind, to kill for it, right? Because if somebody crosses these values, you can kill them, right? If your values is, if you in a certain group and your values are respect, and somebody disrespects you, kill them. If your values is freedom and they cross that boundary, kill them. If your values religion and they disrespect you, and they cut their head off. So once they cross those values, because you got these great values, you got a right to unconsciously act on it any way you want. This is what you were conditioned to do, to put those values in front of you, to get you to trigger and get you to respond and react to it. That's what they're there for. That's what they're there. An ego goal state. An ego just means self. Ego just means self. Goal means plan, state means who you are. When you have an ego goal state, you are using whatever your talent is for you. So I'm the best basketball player, so I know I just play basketball. I'm the smartest, so I just keep learning that I want to be smarter. Because I'm smart, I know how to do it. I'm the fastest runner, so I know how to run fast. I'm the best writer, so I just write. I know how to write. So you use who you are in order for you to achieve all the things you want and enrich yourself and be who you are. That's called an ego goal state. Emotional regulation. Emotional regulation is your brain, right and left side, being triggered to where you feel your best or feel your worst and you react to it. So we understood as we've been going through this process that when we have this 0 to 100, we understood that we make our absolute work, because we have it best is 0, feeling absolute best, and you absolute off the chain when it's 100. But we understood that we made our absolute worst decisions at 0. At 0. Right? When they shoot that dope and you feeling your best, well, what kind of decisions you make?
Very bad.
Huh? You hit that lottery and you got all that money. What kind of decision you make?
All bad.
You in an extra club and you see all them beautiful girls walking around you and they looking amazing and you feel, what kind of decisions you make?
All bad.
But how you feeling?
Good.
Your best. You feeling amazing.
Yeah.
So as you go up that thing, go up to 25, 50, you got a little stress in this. You got to think about things that matter to you, right? You ain't stressed out till you upset, but you thinking about things that I can't do that because I got to think about that. I can't do that because I got to think about that. But when you ain't got to think about nothing, what kind of decisions you make? All bad.
All bad.
All bad. So now we thinking, only when I get to 100 and I'm blacked out, it's the kind of decision I make. No, from 75 to 100, you're not making no decisions. That's your unconscious mind. You're doing autonomic actions. You're not making decisions. You're not making no decisions from there. That's your unconscious mind. You're just reacting to stimulus. You're not making a decision. That's your unconscious mind. You only make decisions from 75 below because that's your left brain and your conscious mind. You can't make a decision in your unconscious mind. Your working memory and your short-term memory is on the left side. You're working with that. You ain't working with that. When that thing triggered, your actions and behaviors triggered. That's unconscious. So we got to understand that we want to get out of that I'm not doing nothing and everything's amazing. And I can understand that I can take a little stress. I'm okay. Nothing's happened, this and that. Because the more we go up in this life, right? Go up in any kind of position, this and that. Does it get easier or get more stressful every time you go up? Does it get easier or stressful? And the only reason you go up is because people say, they look at you like this. Oh, you can handle it. You can handle it. You can handle it.
You got this.
You can handle it. You got it. And we know this true, right? Because all of us know this, because what is it like to be a parent? You sitting up there trying to make the mortgage and all of this. Make the mortgage, you trying to do this, car note, you got all kind of issues and bills on the table. Is them 4, 5-year-olds gonna care when they come home? They want to know what's to eat, where we going, Dad? What's happening? What we doing? Are you gonna sit there and say, let me talk to you, little Jenny. You know, this mortgage is hurting Daddy. You gonna tell her that? Nope. Are you gonna tell her? You gonna give her some candy? Tell her to go somewhere and play? Because that's your responsibility. Your responsibility. So we know that as it go up, we're supposed to be able to handle what's in front of us. That doesn't mean that we won't have challenges and we won't have setbacks and we won't have things that challenge us or make us feel like we're not winning. But it's not about, this whole thing was to take out a success failure mindset, because it is no such thing as that. That's a judgment. No such thing as that. I had a client, patient in my office, 37, and he asked me, say, just tell me the number one thing I need to accomplish. And I told him to get to 38. That's what you gotta do. You gotta do that. Because if you don't get there, don't none of the rest matter. You don't care what you got. Right? So if you didn't get there, does anything matter what happened yesterday or this day? You gotta get there. If you don't get 38, if you 37 don't get 38, game over. Don't matter what's happening. Ain't no call. So we gotta get where we're supposed to go. Get it? But you can't do it if you can't take action. We learn about what those things with behavioral triggers. I just finished talking about them. They're in your unconscious mind. They're your behavioral triggers, meaning that you triggered me. You pissed me off. I went in my blackout state. I was drinking. I was doing drugs. I was highly pissed off. You made me do this. I stopped. This is behavioral triggers. These are the things that feed into that unconscious mind that get you to react to it, that get you to have negative consequences. Negative consequences. Anybody play poker around here? Anybody play poker? Huh?
Yeah.
You? Tell me something. All you guys that know how to play. What does it mean to be on tilt?
Broke, baby.
Huh?
You broke?
What,
You're burning through it.
what do you mean? What you mean you burning through it?
Like, either your hands come up good, or you keep putting your hands in.
You don't care about your hand. You ain't playing. You ain't trying to. You gonna strive. You do nothing. You what? You mad. You upset, right? And the whole goal of the table and the other guys around you is to do what? Is to get you on tilt.
Yeah.
Is to get you on
Break your
tilt.
bank, huh?
Because when you on tilt, they trying to hit your what? Your behavioral triggers, and you'll put every cent you got in there.
Yeah. Everyone is. What, are you scared?
That's correct.
Yes.
That's correct.
Oh man.
That is correct. See, people who use psychology understand that. One of the best psychologists ever that played football, his name was Deion Sanders. Why is that? Deion would say, look, I would run up to a wide receiver when he was standing on the line, and I'm going to step on his foot. I'm going to step on his foot. He's going to be so mad about me stepping on his foot, he ain't going to run his route. He'll be trying to get back at me. Back in the day, some of us remember watching football when the offensive lineman,
Oh man.
when the defense stood up to rush, he'd punch him in the stomach.
Yep.
Punch him in the stomach. That guy's so mad, he ain't thinking about nothing about what the play is. He want to get back at you. Now you blast him off the line and run him over so the running back can get through. Touchdown. Behavioral triggers I'm looking for. Those who have control, take control of those that don't. That don't. You got a fighter. The first thing you telling your fighter is stay in who you are, correct? Because when you in the ring, are you worried about getting hit? Are you?
No.
Why are you not worried about getting hit if you're a fighter in the ring?
When?
Because being hit is a part of fighting.
That is a part of what you there for. You're gonna get hit. What you worried about getting hit for? That's a part of the fight. If you're worried about getting hit, you can't fight. You ain't gotta worry about hitting either. You gotta worry about doing what you do the right way. Whatever your strategy is, you gotta worry about that. Not doing what somebody else do. That's boundaries. That's understanding who you are. Task, goal, orientation. Task just means resources. Goal is plan. State is you. When you go through this transformation, instead of you using this ego, which is the self, you use resources. That means everybody in here become a resource. Your family, your friends, your community, your job, everything becomes a resource to you instead of it becoming something that, well, you don't like me, this and that and the other. Everything is a resource to you because you are a resource to you. You don't have to worry about ever being great and smart in this and that. It's a reason why Tom Brady got 7 rings and Cam Newton ain't got 1. And Cam Newton, my favorite player. Because Cam Newton had what's called an ego goal orientation task, and Tom Brady has what's called a task goal orientation. What does that mean? When they're out on the field, Cam Newton has the strength, the power to run you over. He can see you open and gun that ball straight at you and get it to you. And he can hit all of them open receivers. He got a gun for an arm. Ain't what Tom Brady did. Tom Brady back up when his third foot when his feet hit three steps back like it's supposed to be on the playbook, he throwing the ball to that spot. It's your job to get there. I don't care what you did. It's your job to get there. I'm throwing the ball to that spot. That's what the play say. Throw it to the spot. And if you can't throw it to the spot, Belichick can cut you. So you ain't at that spot where you're supposed to be. I ain't trying to throw the ball gun there. Now the play say, up, take 2 pumps, throw it to the power line. You need to be right there. In this minute second, you need to be right there. That line, that offensive line be to hold that block 2.4 seconds. That's what you need to do. And I better not be there after that, because then I'm getting sacked. Because everybody on the team has a job, and has a job in order for us to win as a team. We know that because we're military numbers. There's no way for the military to win if everybody don't do their job. There is nobody in the military that can have an equal goal orientation. It is impossible. If you are not part of the team, unit, there's no way for us to win. Because if you out there being a cowboy and doing something wrong, you're going to get everybody killed. That's right. You got a job to perform within a big structure. No matter who you think you are or how talented you are. So we know that this task goal, which is resources, goal, meaning your plans, everything has to be from your plans. So you cannot be in the military and have a success failure mindset. What does that mean? So if I send y'all out and you come back and 4 of y'all got shot, 2 of y'all got killed, what we gonna do tomorrow? What we gonna do tomorrow? What's happening tomorrow? I'm gonna send a whole lot more guys right back out there. Am I correct? Am I gonna concern myself because somebody got shot? Or they blew us up, or one fight that day? Am I concerned myself about that? No, I'm trying to strategically find out how I can adjust to go in there and keep going at that mission. Correct? If you are the commanding officer and you're on a naval vessel, what is your job to save? The ship. It is not the people on it. It's the ship. Because if you don't save that ship, there ain't no people to save. If you don't save the ship, where the people at? If you're looking at the people on the ship, don't save the ship. Ain't nobody there. Your job as a parent was to save the house. Not to worry about whether your kids like it or not. Because if you ain't save the house, where y'all living at? You know where you live. You gotta say the house. Say the house, right? Because that's where your kids that's complaining every day, that's where they live and eat, and they complain every day, but you gotta say the house. And because they don't understand, it don't matter. It don't matter. Because that was your responsibility to that, not theirs. So when you have a task goal orientation, that means that you can see others, you can see yourself and see others, and everybody becomes a resource to you. Because you are a resource to them. Called teamwork. Avoidance of forgiveness. Avoidance is avoidance of the self because of the things that you've gone through in life you don't want to face yet. Because you can't forgive yourself for what didn't happen to you. You can't forgive yourself. So you think you got to forgive somebody else. Oh, forgive you for the things you done did. You can't forgive nobody. You have to forgive yourself. Yourself. So you're not judging yourself. And therefore, you don't create this avoidance, which is self-harm behavior. Avoidance is self-harm behavior. Avoidance is trying to get others to reject you so you don't have to face you. That's me out there drinking and you saying, you say you don't drink like that no more. I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't get you gotta get a here. You said you won't do them drugs no more. You know. So it's to get you to reject me so I don't have to deal with me. That's avoidance. That's to get you rejected by your family, your community, your employment, your environment. Can't nobody stand you because of this and that and this and that. I don't care. That's avoidance. So you ain't got to deal with shit. So you do whatever it takes to get people to reject you. Start specious arguments, do all kind of stuff, start fights. Do anything you can to get rejected so you don't have to deal with shit. That's avoidance. People on the street doing it every day. Every day, because they want to stay in the presence of the circumstance. It goes right along with indifference. Forgiveness is about you in the mind understanding that the mind, when the mind is talking to the self in the mirror, the reason the mind has the mask on because it believes that the self in the mirror won't forget him. Don't forgive. You can't forgive yourself. So when you talking to that self and you got that mask on, you don't think if you take that mask off that the self ain't gonna forgive you when they know who you really are. When they know who you are anyway, it's you. It's you. It's you. But you don't believe it because you've been conditioned to hide and lie and try to get more and more stuff to keep you in that same position. So once you get this, you can get to a position where you can unlearn something, but you can uncondition yourself. All unlearning means is this. Because I believe it, it doesn't make it true and it doesn't make it false. It just means that because I say don't mean that what you say is wrong. I ain't gotta be right. We can talk about anything. And we don't have to agree. We don't. So if we can get there and I can unlearn, well, you know, I'll give you a great example. I remember I was in the military young, you know, back in the day, you know, in the early 80s, wasn't a whole lot, on the East Coast, wasn't a whole lot of people in the Navy, but, you know, where I was at, but blacks and whites. And they had them guys from the deep South, and I'm from Virginia, we used to call them old cats rednecks. And they used to have these rebel flags tattooed on their arms and stuff like that, a rebel flag, right? And I'm like, watch that cat, he got that old rebel flag. They used to go that, yeah, and all that other stuff, right? I'm like, watch that cat, right? So in these environments, you don't have, you have to be around each other and with each other. So I found myself one night out there. You know, I ain't got nothing else. I finally got out there. I'm out there drinking, sitting next to this guy. He's sitting next to me. You know, he got his rebel flag on his arm. And I think he's soccer line. And I'm looking at him like, I'm looking at the flag, I'm looking at him. But I'm just waiting for him to say something like the N-word so I can start moving around some furniture in there. So then I looked up and said, what's that rebel flag about? He said, well, let me tell you what that rebel flag is about. That's about my grandma and my grandfather and my great-grandfather. That's what it's about. I'm proud of them. I looked at that fool and I thought about it. I'm proud of my grandma and grandfather too. I sure am. And if you say something about it, I ain't gonna take no mess off you. That's why I get into the slavery argument. I don't take no mess off you talking about my folks. I don't take no mess off you. I don't care what you think. I ain't taking nothing off you when you talk about my folks. Talk about your own, but don't talk about mine. Do not talk about my folks. Talk about what you know. Don't talk about my folks. But I'm gonna give you business if you do. If you do. Then I thought about it, like, he got every right to wear that thing. He represents his folks. He ain't did nothing to me. He love his people, his grandma, people he came from. He ain't doing nothing to nobody. He ain't trying to be this, that. It doesn't mean he's some hate me because he this, that. No. We were sitting there drinking together, having a great time. I was judging him. Didn't know anything about it. See the difference? See the difference? When you can communicate and learn. Through the lens of, not through the lens of judgment. Your preconceived notions of what you thought was this and that. I thought it was just a symbol of hate. Where was I wrong? So the whole thing of this was to get to what's called acceptance of self. This is the hardest part because in order to do that, you're going to have to replace some things in your mind. And the number one thing you're going to have to replace is this word called love. It's hard. They sell a lot on that word. You don't love me. Love yourself. Love thyself as you love others. Love this, love that, love this, love that. But when I was a kid, they used to also tell you that I'm beating you because I love you. And I can tell you like this, most of the people that has done the most damage to most all of us and anybody in life has been the people that you thought loved you. That's a fact. Even the Catholic priest. But you saying that, but am I wrong about it? How many guys that went home and then punched the old lady in the face and talking about he still love her? How many guys went home and beat the kids almost mercilessly talking about you love them? How many of us been beaten and whipped by family members telling them they love you? Was any of that true? No, it's just a word that they can manipulate. It's a word that they can manipulate. That's all it was.
Wow.
And you can't go against it because it's ingraining you with a meaning that ain't got no meaning. But they can make it mean anything you want. Because nobody in what life really wants anything. What they really want is what? Acceptance. When a little child is in you, do the child want you to love them or do they want you to accept them for who they are? When you meet a partner, do you want that partner to love you or do you want that partner to accept you for who you are? When you go to a job, do you want them people at the job to love you or do you want them to accept you for who they are? If you join a sports team, do you want them to love you or do you want them to accept you for who you are? So who wants love or does everyone want acceptance?
You're good.
Because the opposite of acceptance is rejection. The opposite of love is hate. Think about that. Something that you ain't hate nothing, nobody to hate. There's no such thing as being rejected. Because once you accept you don't have to worry about being accepted by nobody because you accept you. So what you thinking about me is irrelevant. Because I accept me. And guess what? Make it so amazing. No matter what you think, I can accept you. It's like, yeah. And like. Because you can jump up and have a fit, and you know what I'm saying? That cat on this journey, you'll be aight. You got nothing to do with me. Because I accept me. Get it? Can't disrespect me because I respect me. You can be disrespectful. And if you're doing that's just a disrespectful act. But if you're just being disrespectful, guess who you're disrespecting? You can't disrespect me because I do. The only one that can disrespect me is me, and I disrespect me by crossing my own boundaries. That's the only way to disrespect myself. You go out in the street, cross your own boundary, you're going to disrespect yourself. You're going to get a lot of trouble. You disrespect yourself. All the trouble you done got into ain't nobody's fault. You done disrespect yourself, and you know it. You know it. But you talk about somebody else. But once you accept yourself, you ain't got to worry about that. Because you don't worry about what I made a mistake or this or that or the other. Because things are not going to always be perfect, and they don't have to be. They do not have to be. And once you get through this whole process, which is very difficult to do, that's why I take my time. I let you know, this is not for you to know. This is for you to experience and go through. Because no one can do this for you. You get to something called the action of change, which I started from. Change means what you want to accomplish for you. For you. That's change. Some people call it goals. I don't call it goals because goals ain't number plans. Change means that you want something different for you. That's change. You want something different for you. What has been the number one problem? We've never been able, through all the stuff we learned, to take what? Action. So if you go through this process, it allows you the action of change. Don't matter how much you know what you want if you can't take action. And as long as you're indifferent, which keeps you stuck in a place, you will never be able to take action. And you'll sit there and learn something new and learn something new. I learned something new today, learn something new tomorrow, learn something new here, and you're still doing the same thing. Same thing, no. But after this process, you can take the action of change. The action of change is what it means to you, nobody else. Nobody can do this for you. Nobody can measure it. Nobody can tell you who's success. Nobody can tell you nothing about this. That's what makes it so tough and unique. Because if you're looking at an Elon Musk or a Trump or the governor or the mayor or somebody like that and looking at them with a little, screw that, obviously got all this money. He's the president. They got to do it too. And if they don't do it, you got in prison you want, they're going to still face the same result. Same result. That they will never be able to take any action change no matter how much power they get, how much money they get. They'll never be able to do those things. And they'll tell you all their great and wonderful goals, but they'll never accomplish anything. Anything. Not a thing. Because they cannot change. Because if you're indifferent, satisfied with your present set of circumstances, and when you like them, you can't change. This process is all about you resetting that mind self. And that mind self, and you're about to learn it, that mind self is the relationship building with the self. The relationship building with the self. You done pull that mask off and you done built a relationship back with the self. And all of this is possible. Every single bit of it. All of it. But if you ain't got no relationship with yourself, you in with the same thing like anybody else. You in a transaction with yourself. I like it today, I don't like it today. We're doing good, we're doing bad. I like it, I don't like it, I don't like it, I don't like it. I'm having a good day, I'm having a bad day. And you're constantly going up and down, up and down, up and down. And you always stand there all the time spiraling like this. Blaming everybody else. I'm drinking, I'm taking drugs, I'm high, I'm a drug addict. That's it ain't my fault, I'm addicted. It's my DNA. Bullshit.
What is number one? The MRTD?
The MRTD is the mind, self, transition diagram. That's that diagram that I draw up there every single week. That's what that is. That's what that is. Anybody got any other questions?
Yes, so did you just go over these? Did I just push you going over those?
Yeah, I've been here hours. Stop at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, I was at a doctor's appointment.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Because I want to let people know, because I want to say, this is the sum of the parts that you have been learning. This is it. This is the sum of it. So without understanding, as I've gone week to 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 week, and you may not understand it all. This is it. This is it. I didn't go from here, from there to here.
Right.
Didn't do it.
So like, in a way, like, you're talking to a reflection of yourself.
Not a reflection of yourself. You're talking to yourself.
All right.
You ain't seeing your reflection.
Yeah.
We can see your reflection.
Yeah, I feel
You
good.
can see you.
Yeah, I feel good.
Yeah, you can see
I
you.
feel amazing.
Yeah,
This was a great lesson. It reminded me.
We can see you. We can't see you.
Yeah,
Nobody
blow your mind
can.
again.
Nobody can talk.
Yeah.
Nobody talk to yourself but you.
Yeah.
I can see.
That feels
I can
good.
see your reflection. We
Yeah.
see your reflection.
All right.
Yeah, you ain't seeing reflection. You see you.
I just missed the whole class.
Yeah.
It's the whole fucking shit.
And
The
so
sum of
as
all
we
parts.
do it, we don't accept it. Get it? Because we don't like what we see.
Gotta stay 12 weeks.
We don't like it because of our condition. It's just like Story about a vampire, right? The vampire, they wrote that character as in, he does not cast a reflection in the mirror. They wrote it for a reason.
Yeah.
And that character's called the Living Dead.
Oh.
And the reason they call that character the Living Dead, because the vampire don't know who he is. The vampire don't know who he is. He don't know what the vampire knows what they do. Don't know for the vampire to finally see himself. He got to acknowledge, hey, I sleep in the coffin. I do these bad things. I do this. I do that. I got to acknowledge I'm bad. I suck blood. I do all this thing. I kill people. I do all this stuff. So he finally gets a chance. After he acknowledges all that, to finally see himself. And he finally sees himself for the first time. So what does he see? He see pale skin, red eyes, blood dripping off the teeth, slick back hair, and he goes,
Damn.
I listen to you. I followed everything you did, and then look what I have. Look what I see in here. I see a monster. I see a monster. I was asking questions to make sure I get ready for her. She's got a class coming. And he go back to doing what he was doing, because that stage, the vampire. That's what the stage right there is called addiction. The vampire had to get to something called acceptance. But when he finally saw himself in the mirror, he had something called a judgment. He called himself a monster. So he went back to doing what he was doing. And he could not go forward. The addicted, not the addicted self is the monster. The judgment is the monster. The addiction is the collective behavior that you cannot get away from it. It's the indifference of believing where you are is what you are. You say you're addicted to drugs, but you won't say that person's addicted to shopping. You won't say that that person's addicted to getting money. You won't say that that person's addicted to power, addicted to education, addicted to this, addicted to that. But you understand? Because we judging
Yeah.
that person and not judging the others.
Oh,
So it doesn't allow the others to get out of where they are.
Hey, my daughter and I are doing counseling, and I understand you're related to that somehow.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
Oh, right on. I'm looking forward to it. I don't have a scheduled date yet, but
What's that?
Michael Lauderdale.
Did you call over there?
I did I called and I did the VIP email, and they reached back to me. They got my information. A girl,
Melba?
I believe so. I'm not sure, but here's the thing. They didn't schedule me. They just found out when I wanted to be scheduled.
Yeah.
And it was just like 3 p.m. would be good because my daughter's in Georgia, right?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm talking about. Somebody said that 3 p.m. because you go. She told me about that yesterday. I'll put you on.
Cool. I just need to know when.
Yeah.
And let her know.
I'll let you know.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Johnson. Have a great day.
All right.
I'll see you next week.
Yes.
all right, great. We all